life after debt. This video is going to be talking about some of the categories that I spend more money on now that we've paid off our mortgage. If you aren't familiar, I made a video where I explained we paid off our mortgage. If you've been around this channel for any length of time, we've talked about this for about 6 years. I've had this YouTube channel for 6 years and how we were working slowly but patiently, but really trying to get rid of our mortgage. And in May of this year, we did pay it off. And yes, some things have changed. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about some of the categories of items that we do spend a bit more money on and some of the things that have stayed the same. So if you enjoy my videos, don't forget, hit that like button. Also make sure you are subscribed. Let's get into the things that I spend a bit more money on these days. The first one is skincare. So I turned 40 this past year, and what I noticed was my skin had started to change. So to go way back in time, I was the kid with braces and a full face of acne. And I had acne up until I had my child. And they say whenever your hormones change, some things in your body, like you have different skin textures from maybe every 6-7 years or so. And I think after pregnancy, my skin started to clear up a bit, and then I utilized 2 drugstore products that were great. It was the CeraVe Skin Renewing Night Cream and the Neutrogena Oil-Free Acne Wash, and I've talked about them on this channel. They were inexpensive and they worked great. But something happened and my skin chemistry started to change again, and I was having a crazy amount of texture, my dullness was coming, and I was having painful acne, and I thought, nope, we are not doing this. So about that time was about when we paid off our home, and I have a friend who is wonderful, who is an esthetician. So I went in and I finally said, okay, I'm going to treat myself, I'm going to get a facial. And that started everything. So from there, she introduced me to a line of skincare that is sold at the skin spa that she works at. Oh my goodness, it has been amazing at transforming my skin. And the best part is, yes, it's more expensive, but the results are incredibly more visible, 1. And 2, I really do not use a ton of the product, so it lasts a long time, and it's made very well. And one thing is, I'm sure you will ask me what it is, but I'm not going to state it in this video. Maybe in a future video after I've used it for longer. I don't like to promote things unless I have really tried and true results. And I'm not saying those items that I used previously are still bad to use. I'm just saying your skin changes. And so what that means is that what I'm using right now may not even be good for you. So if you're at that stage in life and skincare is one of those things that you're like, I want to take a little bit of my money and spend it on this, I would just recommend finding a great esthetician that you can know and you can trust, and they can walk you through what might be best for you and for your budget. Number 2 goes along with number 1. I've talked about it before in my journey of becoming much more frugal and going and rediscovering what little I needed. Before that, I was down the rabbit hole of YouTube makeup videos. What was this? Early 2010s, maybe, where I thought I needed all of this makeup and none of it looked good. And so I just went down to the absolute basics. Very, very basic, regular stuff for years and years, which it was fine. It worked well. But since paying off my mortgage and investing a little bit more in my skincare, I've looked a little bit further into my makeup, how it's made, how it will also affect my skin. And there's been some products that I've changed up, but I want to state to you still that I use very, very little. This is the extent of my makeup bag. The most time that I wear makeup is going to be on videos because of what happens with you get really drowned out with light and really dull with light. So when I'm doing videos is when I wear the most. Otherwise, I really do not wear a lot. So for you in this video, because I know you're going to ask, what are some of the things that I love? And if you have issues with any of these brands, okay, I've done a little bit of research. Everything looks and works well for me. But one thing I do use is NARS. So I love their concealers. So I use these 2 concealers, mostly this on a daily basis, just under my eyes. And it's the cream pot, whatever you want to call it. I have the color Creme Brulee. So I use those 2. And then I do like, this one is one that took me forever to struggle and find. Okay, so let me know down in the comments below. Are you a 90s kid? Meaning you plucked your eyebrows into oblivion. Me. Anybody else? Let me know down below. So my eyebrows are a hot mess because they don't know what I want them to do, because I wanted them to not exist for about a decade, and now I'm like, you can exist, and they're like, I don't want to. We're not coming back. So finding a good eyebrow pencil that didn't look crazy, that looked more natural, was difficult. But I did find one, and I found the Clinique, what do you call this thing? The quick liner for brows. It's thin, I use a little bit, it works, and at the same time, this was ordered on accident. I ordered the Clinique quick liner for eyes. I thought I was ordering the eyebrow pencil replacement, and I got instead their eyeliner, which actually is wonderful. So I've stuck with that as well, but I still do use some drugstore stuff just to show you to set my eyebrows. I do use the CoverGirl Clear just to make sure they don't move. And then as far as mascara, I really enjoy, what is this called? The Stila Huge Extreme Lash. This is one that I really enjoy. Again, I'm not trying to promote consumerism here. I'm just trying to let you guys in a little bit, show you a little bit about what I do, put some of my money into, because everybody, and this is okay, is going to value different things. And I'm not saying you should value vanity and makeup and skincare. I'm just saying there are things, with being in a frugal life, you spend money on things you value, things that you enjoy, rather than spending things on stuff that is just meaningless or isn't a good value. And for me, these items have been good values. They look good, they work well, and they last a long time. So if you're interested, well, there you go. The fourth thing that we are spending just a little bit more money on is experiences. Whereas in the past, again, we still paid off our house, but we still lived. We weren't beans and rice and nothing else, because again, it was just our mortgage. We still lived, but we went on one trip a year, and it was great. That was wonderful. It was short. We usually do about 3 days. 4 days is a little too long for me. I'm a homebody. And we would go to the beach about 3 hours from us. It wasn't a big deal. It was a nice getaway. Every year we do that. Okay, we're good. This year we have done that, but we decided, okay, now that the house is paid off, what's something else we would like to do? So we are going to take a short trip. Again, this might seem so small, and that's okay. We're going to take a small trip to the mountains and show my daughter this wonderful site in the mountains, a couple of hours from us, stay the night. But it's something we wouldn't have done at more than one trip in a year that we're going to do now. And I want to also stay in this, one thing that hasn't changed is I haven't gone crazy. That's the other thing. These extra things that I spent a little bit more money on are not huge. We didn't pay off our mortgage and everybody said, oh, are you going to go on some extravagant 6-day cruise or trip to the Caribbean? No, because we still have goals and things that we're looking towards, but experiences is something that we're like, okay, we can go do this, let's do this and have another experience as a family. The fourth one that I want to talk about is food. We have started to spend a little bit more on food, willingly and unwillingly. First of all, we'll talk about the willingly part of this. I've gone down a huge rabbit hole. At about 39, I started having a couple of health issues, and things were going, okay, wait. Kidney stones, high cholesterol, and I'm thinking, nope, we gotta stop this. What do I need to start doing? And we've really looked at ultra processed foods, things like seed oils, how things are cooked, and how they affect you both short-term and long-term. It's something I really looked into. So what we've done is, and what's just the interesting thing is, you will go into a grocery store and you'll see that a lot of the boxed or bagged items, ultra-processed, are least expensive, are very inexpensive. That's unfortunate, because most of them aren't that great for you because they are ultra processed. Now, that's not to say Whole Foods can't be cheap, because they can, depending upon what you buy, where you buy, if it's frozen, if it's in season. We've really focused on trying to eat as best whole foods as we can, So we're getting there. It's all baby steps, not making the full leap all at once, but really pulling back. And what I have in my cart when I go is most of the stuff that's on the perimeter of the store. That's those whole foods that I can reduce as much as possible being overly processed. Now, the thing is, we do focus on the quality of our food now, but that doesn't always, again, mean spending a lot of money, but in some cases it does. So for instance, when I looked into extra virgin olive oil, which is a good fat for you, for like making salad dressings, etc., I looked into the different qualities. So that is something I will go, and now where I would go and spend not that much, I've looked into how the really cheap brand is made and versus a really high quality brand where you use less and the flavors are completely different because of how it's processed, and it's just so much better for you. So just to say that, meaning look into this kind of stuff. You don't take my word for face value, do your own research, and I've done a lot of that. And if you're interested in me doing a video talking about kind of the sources that I found some of these food things and health things from, I think there are great voices out in the world that more people need to know about. Let me know in the comments. The second part of the food budget that's gone up is the unwilling or unwanted part. Food is going up for everybody. So we've had to, regardless if our diet had stayed the exact same, our food budget still would have gone up because I don't know about you, but I feel like it's ramping up even more. Going to the grocery store every week, I'm trying my darndest to keep it under control, but there's only so much you can do. There are plenty of things that you can put in place, and I've done a video recently, I'll link that down below, 30 money-saving tips to help save at the grocery store. I'm going to keep doing as much as I can and giving you as many tips as I can to help you during the hard times because I completely understand it. So food budget has definitely gone up, one part willingly and one part unwillingly. The fifth way I've been spending more money is quality. I have always said it's definitely more beneficial to buy quality over quantity, to focus on cost per wear versus cost to purchase. However, there are different stages in life, and some people they don't have a lot of margin right now. I remember those times. All that mattered was you needed something. How can I get it as cheap as possible? The quality of it doesn't matter. I understand that. Everybody's at different stages in their life. And so at this stage for us, I think what I'm seeing now is more like, okay, now I've got the margin. Now what I can do is I can spend a little bit more up front, because the more I can spend, not necessarily, the better quality I can buy up front, that I think I can get the most cost per wear, the longer I can have it, the less it costs over time, okay? So the longer you have something like tool, a computer, a shoe, or a pair of shoes, not just one, vehicle, then the better the value it is, even if that's paying more up front. So that is becoming more and more my thought, really looking at the quality of something, and quality can't say the word, quality doesn't always mean cost, okay? But really looking at the cost of something and thinking, now am I going to take this purchase? I know that one is going to be the best bet. The price might sting a little bit because my frugal ways are still there. But honestly, that's going to last me a long time, and it's going to be the best cost in the long run. The last one is the best one, and it's the opportunity to give more. Where you don't have these debt payments. And again, if you don't know my story and you're just coming across this video, in my 20s, I was in so much debt. I had collectors calling. I had where it took me years to turn my phone ringer back on after I'd gotten out of debt, because that's how kind of crazy that time in my life was. And I had more debt than I had yearly income, and I could not make the payments. It was absolutely heart-wrenching. I still think about it and it hurts. But getting out of that, I understand it. And being able now to not have these reoccurring payments and having this the availability to go, whoa, okay. Now, for those people who are hurting, who do need help learning how to help themselves, what can I do? What can I give back? And I think regardless if you like Dave Ramsey or Rachel Cruz or not, I think they have wonderful things to say, and they help millions of people every single year. And I've talked about it before. The book that put me on the right track was Love Your Life, Not Theirs by Rachel Cruz. Bottom line, the number one that I recommend. Now, regardless if you 100% believe in his plan or not, but it was Dave Ramsey who said, live like no one else now, so you can live and give like no one else later. And Rachel Cruz says that the most fun thing you can do with money is giving. And it absolutely is. And knowing that that opportunity is here and we're able to do that, and having a wonderful church family that does so much outreach to be able to help is just something that I'm telling you I am so excited about, especially the winter time coming up, holiday season, obviously any time of the year. But that is one thing that I think the most excited about is the opportunity and ability to do so, to say, I don't have all these huge debt repayments. Look, yay, I can help out more. So I want to say that's about it. Not a lot has actually changed about our habits, because those habits are good, lasting habits that are beneficial. And we've just moved from one savings goal to another, whereas, for the last 5 or 6 years, it's been our house payoff. Now we are saving for a vehicle replacement. And then after that, we will have a new goal that we are working towards. So we're continuing to invest in our retirement. We're living our lives. But I think the absolute best thing about the feeling about paying off the mortgage is the feeling of being free and not being dependent on our future income for things that we want now. Still exercising patience, rather than going out and getting that new car on with a car loan, saving and being patient and waiting. It's the fact is that you can go, if bad news comes that can change your entire life, where one of you your entire life is rocked, and maybe there's a health issue. It's okay. Just knowing that it's okay. It's going to be okay. You're in the position, and we worked hard for the last 15 years, that it's a big exhale. So I would say the one word that sums it up is peace. It's a peace that just comes over. So I hope that this video is encouraging. I hope a bit fun at the beginning, but I hope it's encouraging. Just try. Just to see if you can live that frugal life. It's not depravity. It really is enjoying life as it is, and not really worrying about things that don't matter, or spending on things that don't matter, or mindlessly spending. My other last thought would be, do the best you can with what you have at this time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, don't forget, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next weekend for a new video.